it's Melissa here, and I'm so happy to be back with you again at the Scrappery. I know, it's been a while, a whole lot of stuff has been going on, but before I get into that, so what I'm working with is the Olivia Kit, and if you'd like to see a kit share or unboxing, you can go onto my channel, which I'll link below. I put that up last week. So this kit is featuring the More Than Words collection by Coco Vanilla Studio, and you get the stamp set, and in the colour kit you get some embossing ink by Tim Holtz and also some embossing powder in silver. I can't remember the name of who made the embossing powder, but anyway, I didn't have an embossing tool and I've wanted one for years, and so I used this as the perfect excuse to go out and buy one. I was pretty excited about it, and what you just saw there was my first time ever doing heat embossing. So I just used the ink. Sorry, I used the glue. It's a glue stamp or glue ink pad. A glue pad is what I'm trying to say. And then I did about 3 or 4 stamps, and then put the powder on, or the glitter. Excuse my head. Had a piece of paper I'd folded in half, just copy paper. Tipped the powder on. Now you don't want to tip it. You want to shake it too hard or blow it too hard because it will actually blow off. I didn't know that. And even doing it this way, it still makes a lot of mess on my desk, as you can see. And so I just included all of this so that you can see my process. I did not include all of the embossing on this video because it took me, I think, a couple of days to get it done. So that's what I have. That's what I'm finished with. And I know that embossing such as this, heat embossing, resists mixed media such as watercolours and inks. So I decided to do the packaging technique, and I just got one of the papers in the kit. It has uneven circles, the watercolour looking. I should have shown it really, but it was my inspiration for this background. So I just tried to select colours that were on that paper. And that's a really good piece of advice, that if you have a collection or a kit and you've got a piece of paper that features a lot of the colours, you can use that to base your mixed media background work. And also you could select your threads if you're doing hand stitching, etc. So I'm speeding this bit up because I don't want to cut it out, but I didn't want to have it double time either. So that's just what I'm doing. And I must say I loved using the heat tool to quickly dry as well, because normally I would have to stick it outside if it's summer in the sun or by a window and wait for it to dry. So one piece of advice, and I think I was a bit quick, but you do want to let each layer dry, because otherwise you're going to get colours mixing and you'll either get muddy colours or you'll get colours that you don't want. So I think if I didn't have such a huge time pressure on this, because I'm very aware that I think I'm, a month late from when this kit arrived, and that's because I got sick for 2 weeks, and my youngest has been sick as well, and also with work, and things just get so crazy. I think this layout must have taken me about 3 days to make. But anyway, I do love how it turns out. I wanted to do a layout that didn't use any cut files or digital cut files, because I'm aware that not everybody has those. So that's actually, that is the paper I was talking about with the circles. That is what I use to base my background. So here I've got a photo, and it's our cat Lola with Ava. And Ava, I think this was taken in January, so Ava would have been 14 months old. Yeah, and she's pretty rough with Lola, and I was going to call this one In Lola's Eyes, because Lola puts up with all this roughness, and then every so often she'll scratch the kids if they push it too far. But she is very, very patient and long-suffering, probably, to be able to put up with pulling and hugging and everything else. So it's a really sweet little photo, and I took 2 photos. I think I blurred out Ava in the background slightly of this one and made Lola the focus, but I have another one I think I've scrapped before where Ava's the main focus. So I was going to roughly cut those with my scissors, and then I decided no, I wanted straighter edges, so I just pulled up my little trimmer, and I was going to use that card there from the 4x6 and 3x4 cards that Renell includes in the PLK, but I just love those flowers, and I know I could have used the main sheet of paper, but I just decided to fussy cut them rather than cover them up. So there is my background all dry now, and I love how it's turned out. So then I pulled some more of the cards, and I'm just going to layer them. Of course, I'm wanting to work really quickly because I don't have that much time. So once I'm happy with those positions, I just pull out my stapler, just an office stapler, because I didn't even think about using my other one, and staple them. And here I thought, because it was like a ledger piece, and so I've just used my notebook punch to give a little bit of interest to the edges and ruffling them up a bit. So these 4x6 cards, no, 3x4 are from the 6x6 paper pad, and the reason I know that is because they are not double-sided and the pattern or wording in this instance is scaled down. So they make great layers, and that's why I've had them, I made the layers go quite wide because I want them to shine or to be seen behind my photo. So that's where I'm adding my stapling and just fiddling around. And I forgot to say that I used that more bold paper as an immediate matte behind my photo. And the reason for that is because I've got a white border on my photo, and so I can then put something a bit more bold. So if I didn't have the white border, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd go for something a bit lighter. But anyway, that's my thinking on it anyway. And so just using some double-sided tape and wanting to make sure that my photo is straight. So now I've got some craft foam, and I want to pop up that photo and make it a bit more separate from those other layers. This is one of the Pretty Little Pieces kit, and I was thinking actually I should put all three of those together, because if you get the three different kits, the main kit, the embellishment kit, and the PLK, you'll get 3 packs of those. So in it was this beautiful tulle which had silver sparkles, and I just love the texture and sparkliness and fun and whimsiness, if that's such a word, that this adds to my page. So I've just put it behind the foam, and I just added some extra double-sided tape to make sure it was glued. And you can't see it, or you may be able to actually if this was, I'm only looking at the small screen of course as I'm voicing over, but I'm hoping you can see it. The final shot at the end will show it. It really is quite subtle, but also sparkliness makes it less subtle. So I'm just gluing those layers in, and yes, I have finally got a thin line glue bottle that actually works. I've tried a couple that were useless. This one is the one that most of you have, so I'm sure it will work. And then I've put, I think it says love this, a little sticker, and little moments, little phrase sticker from the sticker sheet. And now I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to do for embellishment. I had a sequin land there that had come out of that little Pretty Little Pieces, so it will end up there, and I'll add more later. And now I'm going through the ephemera pack, and there are so many flowers and leaves which are amazing. And so I thought I'm not going to go overboard with flowers on this layout, because I really want my embossing in the background to be the main feature, aside from the photo, of course. So I've got a couple of leaves that I've just tucked behind those fussy cut flowers. I've popped up the ends of those leaves on a little Stampin' Up! Dimensional, and here I've got a butterfly, and I think that works well because I've got, you can see the 4 butterflies that are embossed, and that is a flare badge, and it's a heart. It's really sweet. And then I found this little gorgeous little cluster of flowers, and I just like the way it pokes out, or peeks out I should say, from behind the layers of paper. So here are the sequins, and the colours are absolutely beautiful. There's a peachy coloured ones, and silver, and kind of iridescent white ones, and they just go so well with the colours that I've done in the watercolouring, and I must say it's because I've based it on that paper from the kit. So at this point I need to do my title, and like I said, I was going to call it In Lola's Eyes, and then I just decided to call it Ava and Lola, and I think that's because I have another layout called Ava and Charlie. Yes, we have Charlie and Lola, they're our cats, and it's quite simple and quite sweet, and I really wanted to use those beautiful enamel thickers. I think they're Dear Lizzie. And so my final touch is just to add some tinsel colour shine, which is a dark sort of pewter colour, and that's my layout. So I hope you enjoyed watching this process, and I'm going to endeavour to get another video done really quickly because I love this kit so much, and hopefully I've inspired you. So I would be I will be back again soon. Take care.